Hi, my name is Max, co-founder of Langfuse, and today I want to launch model-based evaluations on the last day of our launch week. Model-based evaluations are a way to get a sense of the quality of our LLM features. We basically send the inputs and outputs to a large language model and ask it to grade it and tell us whether it was good or bad. If we wouldn't do that automatically, we would need to read through all these LLM responses to get a feeling for quality. So far, this has been possible in Langfuse by basically running these evals on your own server and then sending the results to our SDKs. With the launch today, we are able to run that right within our cloud. Now, if we look into this example here, we see that this input here has been in Dutch and the large language model responded in English. This is fine, but I want to ensure that the output always is the same language than the input. To set up a model-based evals, let's head over to our templates. I can create a new template here, and I can choose one of the predefined Langfuse managed templates. For example, I could check for toxicity, hallucination, or correctness. However, in our case, it's rather simple. I can just create the template out myself. Is the input and output language the same? Create a name for it. And I can already see the variables here that are within this template. We will come back to that later. I could also choose a different model that I can choose to run this evaluation. And I can ask this large language model to give us specific scores. For example, additionally, I can also tell the large language model to give us a reasoning. Now I have saved this template and I can go over to configs. I can create a new one and select the template I just created. Here I can basically instruct Langfuse to run this template on specific traces. In this case, I just want to run it on all traces with the name QA. When I scroll down, I see that we have here the template, again, with the variables input and output. I can choose from which part of our trace I want to detect the data. So for example, from the trace, I want to get the input, and the output, I also want to get it from the trace, but here I want to get it from the output. Alternatively, I could also go deeper into our trace and basically select it from a specific generation with a specific name. But let's keep it simple here. Additionally, I can also choose a sampling, so I don't run it on each and every trace. And I can also specify a delay. If you wait specific seconds until we start evaluating to ensure that all the data arrived on our server, which is needed for our evaluation. Once we are done here, we can run the evaluation. On the right, we have a demo application from which we can basically test what we just configured. I just asked a question in German, and we already see the German answer. So let's hop over to tracing and see whether the eval worked. Now we see here already the language detector. We see my question and the output, and let's see what the argument was. The same input and output language are the same. Both are in German. So this is a perfect example for an eval. Now, if I head over to the dashboard, I can also see these quality scores over time. Here we see, as said, we see all these scores, and we see the first one popping up here for our language comparison.